you're probably wondering what we're doing, but we're looking for the Redskins offense. It disappeared on Sunday, but our points for the show today are, if you're in the NFC East, you must remember you're in the NFC East, a tough division. Also, finish every game. You can't play a half of a game. And always keep your mind on your work.
Hey, I found something. It's a brain.
I'm going back in.
More cars with an EPA highway estimate over 30 miles per gallon than any other car company on the road today. Camry, Matrix, Corolla, Yaris, Solara, and Prius. See your local Toyota dealer for big savings and great deals. Toyota, the most fuel-efficient full-line car company. Toyota quality with better MPG.
Jason Campbell speaking.
Jason, babe, we lost the Brethman endorsement.
What?
I do have some good news, though.
You got me another endorsement deal?
No. I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Geico. Hello?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus Offensive Player of the Week has been made possible by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Chris Cooley having a very good year, 6 catches, 71 yards. Every week we try to bring and upgrade our talent. We try to bring in some individuals that will help me with Mike and Donna's lack of knowledge. Last week, we brought in Lou Holder, and he did an excellent job, so I'm taking it a step further this week. Bringing in the young man, he is the author of Redskins Encyclopedia, so he knows quite a bit about the Redskins. Been here before. Welcome to the show, Mike Richman.
Hey, Tony, thank you very much for having me on.
Big shoes to fill this week, but Mike, let's get right to it.
Please help Tony.
Everyone is worried about the offense.
I'll do my best.
2 years ago, they went to the playoffs. Similar situation, had to win 5 in a row. Last year, they went to the playoffs. Similar situation, had to win 4 in a row. Give me a comparison of these teams. How are they close? What do you see? And can this team do that?
Well, the offense on this team is very much like the offense from last year and the Redskins offense from 2005. But down the stretch, the quarterback situation was much different. 2005, you had Mark Brunell. Last year, you had Todd Collins down the stretch. Collins also had a number of big receivers to throw to that the Redskins do not have right now. He had 2 veterans in Riche Caldwell and Keenan McCardell, and those two caught a number of key passes down the stretch. That's what the Redskins need right now. They need the rookie receivers and Fred Davis, the tight end, to step up because the Redskins need more options.
Now, what do you think about that, Mike? I mean, you know, we take a look, and we'll take a look at the gut check in a minute, but those big receivers.
Well, yeah, and you look at that preseason. You remember McMullen and Mix, these 6'4", 6'5" guys. One guy even played
should have kept a couple of those
several years in the NFL. Well, and I think that's why they were looking at putting maybe one of these guys on IR, because I think both of them are still out there. But I mean, and Mix had played with Campbell. I mean, they played together. They were used to each other. They were really beginning to work into the system, and bam, they're gone. And then you've got kids. You got rookies that aren't working.
Donna, let's take a look at the gut check and see how we measure up to it this week. You know, each and every week we try to take a look at this and see what this team needs to do to win. And we know last week wasn't a good week, but this week when you look at the gut check, it's things that they will have to do against this Baltimore team, because you know Baltimore is a great team.
Exactly, Tony. And the thing about Baltimore is that the Redskins need to be able to run the ball, but they're stingy, another stingy defense, because they're only allowing a little over 80 yards. And not only that, the Redskins have a problem scoring, Tony, and they're going to have to be able to score a lot more than 7 points against Baltimore. Against the Giants, they weren't able to score much more, but they've got to learn how to go downfield, because Cooley was talking about somewhat that they've got to mix it up. They've got to be able to run the ball. They've got to be able to mix it up in the passing game.
Okay, I wanted to wait and put it up to see if you knew what you was talking about. Let's take a look at the gut check. I see how close Donna is with what she was saying. Portis and Fletcher playing her. That's very important. That's it. Running the ball, as you said.
Yeah.
Oh, you lucked up on that. Somebody told you what to say.
Well, let's talk about the injuries that Portis has right now, because we know that he is key for the Redskins' success. He's got a jam neck. He's got the knee injury, and they're talking about maybe not possibly playing him this week. How does that affect the Redskins even more so?
I think it affects them big time. I mean, you got to think about it, Mike. This guy's been great, and I tell you what, he's 221 pounds, which a lot of people think that's a lot of weight, but that's not a lot of weight. Taking a lot of hits. He's running the ball more than anyone else in the league, and he's been hit quite a bit.
Well, and you know what? I'd like to see, if Clinton Portis is not going to play, I'd rather see Rock Cartwright in there. I mean, I know Liddell Betts is great, especially good on third downs. He's a great third down running back, I mean, because he's got those great hands. But I'd like to see some power running with Rock Cartwright.
That's a great idea. But will he work into the West Coast offense? We'll take a look at that. Now, you're on point right now. What about the West Coast offense? You think Rock Cartwright will work in that?
I think so, yes. And actually, the situation with Rock Cartwright is a little disturbing in that he is the number 3 runner for the Redskins, but he hasn't had any opportunities this year.
Extend the vertical passing game. Yes, they need to do that. Improve the third down, and he can be involved with that. And let Jason freelance more.
In those victories, in those 2 victories, those big ones against the Giants and the Eagles, don't forget now that Jason freelanced in those games, and that was one of our points. And even Zorn said after the game that Jason made some things happen. We're not seeing that.
Well, also, what he said, Mike, is that the receivers have to learn how to get open also, and then Jason still needs to get rid of the ball a little bit more.
What is he saying there, Donna, when they say the receivers have to learn? Let's finish that point with Rock. He can help that, everything we said about the West Coast, because he's a good inside runner. He catches the ball well, and he can make those linebackers come up so they can extend the throwing, which all good backs can do. But what do they mean the receivers must learn the patterns better?
Yeah, well, the thing about it is the patterns are set that when Jason, the timing patterns, when Jason throws that ball, they've got to be in that spot. And also getting off the line of scrimmage also, because you know that if they bump you, they're going to throw you off a little bit, but you still got to get to your spot.
And guys, that's even more important this week, because you got a defense that blitz quite a bit. You got a Ravens defense that's not going to give you a lot of time for everything, so you must throw that ball on rhythm.
Absolutely. Well, like Donna said, those receivers need to be there, and the passes need to be precise. But I do want to get back to the point about what Zorn said regarding Jason Campbell after the game. Without saying it, I think he was very disturbed, Jason. He said Jason Campbell made a number of mental errors, particularly in the first quarter, and he may be losing patience with him.
Let's hope not. Speaking of losing patience, right now we'll be back talking about a defense that needs more pass rush.
We'll be right back with more of Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus. Oh, so you had a hard day. Yeah, sure enough. Oh, but don't worry about it.
Here at this modern-day watering hole, this urban Serengeti, it's man meets reptile.
So, Lucy, what are you doing?
Just a little online shopping.
You should check out Geico.com, get a free rate quote. If you like what you see, you can buy it online, over the phone, or at your local Geico office.
Cool.
Remarkable. Oh, no. Help! Did you hear something?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
With one click, you can build your new Toyota. Select the options. Choose the accessories. Get a quote and arrange for financing. Or shop for a certified used Toyota. BuyAToyota.com. Our showroom at your fingertips.
Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus Defensive Player of the Week has been made possible by Toyota. Toyota, moving forward.
A young man that they said may not even play on Sunday had 14 total tackles, 11 unassisted. I tell you, if London Fletcher do not make the Pro Bowl, it'll be just a travesty of justice because this young man has played great.
We can thank Greg Williams for that acquisition. He insisted on getting London Fletcher when Antonio Pierce left, and so we can thank him for that. He's been an amazing addition to this team.
Well, let's look at this Baltimore offense. The Ravens offense, they got a young quarterback in Flacco, and he's doing well. But they said that there's some things that you can do with him that the Redskins will need to do to make him make mistakes. In other words, create your own mistakes.
It's interesting. They showed about 2 or 3 weeks ago, they showed an analysis of how he plays. When you rattle him and throw, and he goes to the right, it's almost interception after interception. All his interceptions come from rolling to the right. And so they were just saying, you just have to come up with plays to force him out of the pocket because he's not a particularly good scrambler and passer.
And that's to his right, you said.
And if you let him sit back there, I watched him this past weekend. I watched some of the highlights of that game. He will eat you alive.
Well, if you know that, let's look at the Blanche effect because he's pretty tight on pretty things. Let's see what. Got to pressure him.
Got him to get him
Make
out of
him
the
go
pocket.
to his right.
Yeah.
Cover Heat over the middle.
Heat's having a big year.
He's big. He was big, you know, a
We
couple
have
years
traditionally
ago.
a problem covering those
Don't
kind of
forget
guys.
about Derek
Clayton
Mason.
is having an excellent year. So this is not the same offense that we've seen in the past. But you must remember, 2 years ago they won 13 games. So this is a pretty good team. Now you look at the Washington Redskins. You're the historian. Is our pass rush as good this year as it was 2 years ago and last year?
Pass rush is not there right now. I don't think the Redskins have addressed the pass rush enough in recent years, getting back to the receivers and the tight end that they drafted this year. Didn't address the rush at all in the draft. Waited until the 7th round to get Rob Jackson. The last defensive lineman the Redskins drafted in the first round was Kennard Lang in 1997. They are just overlooking that position. And you know, being a defensive lineman in the NFL, the way you create turnovers is you rush the passer. You force him into making mistakes.
And Donna, you know, a lot of people, they keep saying, well, they're only giving up 14 points. They're only giving up a certain amount of yards. But as you can say, in the last few games, even the ones they lost, we saw situations there, had they gotten a good pass rush, would have turned the whole game around.
Exactly, Tony. This game is going to be a defensive battle between the Ravens defense and the Redskins defense because they're pretty even. They give up about 143 yards on the ground and probably 190-some yards through the air. So it's going to be one right there as far as the Redskins putting pressure on the young quarterback as far as stopping the run because they can run the ball. And that secondary of the Redskins, that's where they're going to be able to create some turnovers right there. So it's going to be one between the defenses.
It's interesting. Yvonne Kearse was out there, and the Redskins said they weren't interested in him. Look what he's doing when he went back for the Titans.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a lot of teams passed on. They thought he was through.
I was surprised.
But may I ask you something? I've heard some of the Redskins folks say that it's very difficult to pick a defensive end in the first round and know that you're going to get the productivity out of them. Is that true, Tony?
I don't think so, and you know, naturally I'm going to say that. But at the same time, I think a defensive lineman is someone that is made up of a couple of things. And the way they have to be now, they have to be fast as a linebacker. They must have very good feet, low leverage, and be able to play the run and the pass. That's what you look for when you look for a first-round defensive lineman. One thing about it, any defensive lineman in the league, and this is for you fans, I'll tell you a little bit about this. Any lineman in the league, and when you look at our defensive linemen and other linemen, when they get into that tackle and they stop their feet, they've lost the battle. That's where the battle is won and lost, on the defense and offensive line. You try to make your man, the offensive man, stop his feet, and you keep your feet moving, you can win the battles.
Now, one player the Redskins are missing this year is Philip Daniels. He was not noted as a great pass rusher, but he was terrific at stopping the run.
And batted down balls.
Batted down balls and leadership ability. Tremendous leader on and off the field. They're missing him. That's the reason they acquired Jason Taylor. It looks like Bill Parcells in Miami pulled one over on the Redskins with that one.
Well, I'm not going to go that far. He's had a lot of
two
injuries.
picks. I believe it's second and a fourth.
And I think he has to adapt himself to playing in the NFC because it's a little bit different type of football. Demetric Evans, I think, has had a great year, and they'll need a big day out of him on Sunday. But one thing about Demetric, he has a great motor, and his feet keep moving. He plays the run and the pass well. But they must get to this. They have to stop the run first.
Exactly.
They must force Flacco to win the game, and you must get pressure on him.
What happened to Erasmus James? This is a first-round pick. They gave up a 7 for him. Did he come out of Minnesota? This kid was a first-round pick, and they were high on him.
He had his problems there, though. You know, he had his problems there, and they thought he was going to be great. He was a number 7 pick, was he not?
He was a first-rounder. I'm not exactly sure
I think he was around a number 7.
But if he was that great, he would be on the field.
Exactly.
Because Montgomery is another player has come along, Tony, week after week and getting better, and he had the little Achilles strain, but against the Giants he had the sack, and he's starting to play a lot better. But like you said, if they don't get pressure up front, the young quarterback will go downfield.
Well, let's get back to the secondary. You have Sean Springs nicked up a little bit, and with Sean Springs in there, he makes a total difference. What do you see this defensive backfield doing this week?
I think they're going to mix it up and try and fool Flacco. I think that's going to be a major key in the game. You've got a rookie quarterback with the veterans that the Redskins have in the secondary. They're going to try and fool him back there, just confuse him as much as possible and force him into making those errors, like you say.
D'Angelo Hall is beginning to impress me. He has, what, 2 interceptions in 3 games?
Yes.
I mean, that's impressive. And the one was kind of nifty, the way he pulled that one off. I think he might be a big factor in this game.
He's a great pickup. You know, I had my question mark, but I think he's excellent, and the defensive backfield is playing well. Speaking of playing well, special teams. We got one guy doing well on that. Maybe the rest.
So you had a hard day, tried everything. Seems like you can't make it on your own. Everywhere you turn.
Relive the glory days of your Washington Redskins. Call 703-723-3388 to book a speaker for your next special event. Speakers are available for sports and educational events, autograph sessions, or as motivational speakers.
Welcome to Jordan's 8, a sleek and sexy 2-level restaurant and bar serving steak, pasta, seafood, and DC's finest sushi on Capitol Hill. Watch your favorite game on one of 9 50-inch screens at one of our 2 bars. Jordan's 8 will be open during every professional football, baseball, and basketball game with food and drink specials. Jordan's 8 is located on 8th Street, Southeast Washington, just 1 block from Eastern Market Metro. Reservations preferred, but not required.
Need extra money this holiday season? Turn your jewelry into instant cash. Gold, silver, coins, diamonds, even broken gold. This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 5 at Cash USA. 5 locations: White Marsh Hampton Inn, Pikesville Hilton, Glen Burnie Hampton Inn, Crown Plaza Timonium, and Holiday Inn Express Edgewood.
It's not wind, or water, or the sun. This is America. Our greatest renewable resource is opportunity. At Bank of America, every customer has the opportunity to make the most of every dollar. With check cards that build savings and credit cards that earn money back. Want to spend smart every time you spend? You can. At Bank of America, Bank of Opportunity.
Need extra money this holiday season? Turn your jewelry into instant cash. Gold, silver, coins, diamonds, even broken gold. This Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 5 at Cash USA. 5 locations: White Marsh Hampton Inn, Pikesville Hilton, Glen Burnie Hampton Inn, Crown Plaza Timonium, and Holiday Inn Express Edgewood.
Tony McGEE'S Pro Football Plus, Special Teams Player of the Week, has been made possible by Geico.
Welcome back, and it looks as if each week when we speak of special teams, Rock Cartwright is our player of the week. And he's playing well not only as a cover man, but he's also returning very well. should be the Pro Bowl this year.
Oh, I think he'll make the Pro Bowl. I really do. But one thing I'm concerned about is Sean Sweezum. He was a bright spot in special teams last year, but this year, second from the bottom with a 75% conversion rate. He's missed 3 doable field goals in the last 3 weeks, and I'm concerned about that. I really am.
Mike, what do you think happened there? As you said, last year he seemed to be more clutch.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a leg strength issue. Maybe they're just not talking about it. But at one point, you know, Coach Zorn did allude to the fact that he had a little bit of a leg problem.
What about the holder? You got a different holder this
Well,
year.
and you know, Plackemeyer's punts haven't been all that great either. So that's put him in a bind a few times. I think Danny Smith's probably very disappointed in the special teams at this juncture.
I tell you, and as you know, in the NFC, when you're in this point of the season, you must make every point that you can. This team is having a problem scoring, and we take a look at the NFC East matchups this week. Let's begin with this team going to Baltimore. A great defense, pretty good offense, but they can be had.
You know, if you compare them to Pittsburgh, I mean, I think the defenses are somewhat similar, but I'm sorry, but Flacco is not where Roethlisberger is right now, and if you can get him flustered and roll him out to his right, he throws a lot of interceptions, and the kid will have a very good game and then a very poor game. I think the Redskins can go up there and take this one. I really do, and the Redskins are playing well on the road.
And if you're going to make him roll his right, that means you have to get pressure, and that's what Washington must do this weekend to really rattle this young man.
Yeah, and what about putting Jason Taylor in that sort of that 3-4 alignment when he slide him back to linebacker to get kind of more of a blitz or rush situation? What about a 3-4 for this team?
Well, they play some 3-4, and they're having Jason stand up sometime, moving him around. He's getting a feel for it right now. They'll do a lot more of that, but you got to get pressure from all 4 men. So what do? Maybe you can do some games, and when we talk about games, that's interchanging the linemen. Let's look at another one. Dallas at Pittsburgh. We disagree on this one.
I'm going with Dallas.
Pittsburgh may be one of the best teams or top 2 teams in the league.
I watched Tony Romo with a broken finger, and I'm watching him play.
Tony Romo fan.
You know, and I was dissing him last year because I said he looked like a street ball player, but I'm real big on Romo right now, and I'm big on the Dallas Cowboys, and I look for them.
UNTO, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for them to win maybe 4 of their last 5 games, Tony.
Oh, so you're putting them ahead of the Washington Redskins. Everyone listen in on this show. Mike Baker
0-5 this week.
has turned on us.
Yes, no, I'm a Cowboy fan now.
Okay, what about Philadelphia, the Giants? I know Philadelphia had a lot of points on Turkey Day, but that, to me, doesn't mean a thing because I don't think they can beat the Giants. The Giants, what we found out on Sunday, they are a complete team. They are a competitive team. And one thing I saw in the locker room, Mike, he requires each and every player to be professional. They have to wear suits there, suits after the game, suits on the plane. I mean suits, and I like that because you do not see that anymore. That's a disciplined team.
Absolutely. And you know, one thing we mentioned a couple weeks ago, and that's Jim Fossil. Just before he left, remember he drafted all those offensive players, all those offensive linemen, and they got really beat up pretty badly when he played all those rookies. And then, of course, he gets fired. And now 4 of those 5 regular guys are from Fossil's draft. And now these guys have been together 5 years. They're strong, they're tough, they're nasty. And that offensive line combined with the defensive line they have, those are the 2 best lines in football. Maybe Pittsburgh's better, maybe not.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh is pretty good. Let's look at the Sports Bar Challenge. Each and every week we get changes in that, and we're looking at a big game this weekend, Tampa Bay and Carolina. Let's look at, tell me what you see, Mike.
Well, you know, I'd be surprised if Kevin Greavy is not still ahead. But let's take a look. Martini's Tampa Bay Bucks.
Did someone give me a hint on that?
I would pick Carolina, but I've been wrong every single game.
Why would you pick Carolina? I think Tampa Bay is really coming on also.
You know, it reminds me of the old Redskins. They play well at home. Crystal City Sports Pub 6-7. Crystal City Restaurant picking the Bucks at 7-6.
Billy Bragg,
Greavy's, I was right, 8-5, and Jordan's 8. Carolina Panthers, great food, but their picks are down.
It's going to be some changes this week. Speaking of changes, we're not changing what we do. Once this segment is over, information, scholarship, 2000. Look for it.
If you enjoy Tony McGEE'S Pro Football Plus and you are a college-bound student, we have an exciting scholarship opportunity for you. This year, with funding from Geico Insurance and the Kellogg Company, Redskins Magazine, Inc. 2008 Scholarship is awarding 5 $2,000 scholarships. The subject for this year's essay is, what can I do to slow down the progress of global warming? Click on the Youth Sideline page on Tony's website, redmagplus.com, for application information. Don't wait. Get your essays in early. Good luck.
This is the year that the voice is revealed. They call him the Minister. His name is John Butler.
And hands down, he's a vocal phenomenon.
The Washington Post says John Butler speaks the universal language of music.
Get his music today at www.theminister.org.
The Minister is here, and it's time to let the world know.
Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus set is provided by Aaron's Corporate Furnishings. For all your rental, sales, and lease ownership needs, contact Aaron's.
I want John to know and all of our fans to know.
Buying a car is a big decision.
You need some advice.
That is why VHIX.com is so great. Check out the Power Circle ratings for any kind of vehicle.
JDPower.com, Power Circle ratings.
Anything that you want to know about a vehicle.
Mechanical quality.
The performance.
Design quality. Powertrain quality.
You're going to get the right car.
All this great information right on VHIX.com.
Use JDPower.com Power Circle ratings to rank vehicles you're interested in at VHIX.com, your online resource to find your ride. Search our online inventory. Thousands of vehicles are added weekly.
Watch the Capitals all season long on Comcast Sportsnet. And now, if you missed the game, you can catch up on the action on Comcast Sportsnet on demand on Comcast. Games are available anytime on Channel 1 on demand. To see the Capitals and other great Capitals specials, press your on-demand button, select Sports and Fitness and Comcast Sportsnet, and see the Capitals in high definition. If you don't have Comcast Sportsnet HD, call 1-800-COMCAST today.
Football Plus Stat of the Week has been made possible by Toyota. Toyota, moving forward.
Welcome back to the show. We're going to the web question of the week right away. Mike Richman, tell me, how would you rate Jason Campbell's progress this season?
I think Jason made some tremendous strides earlier in the season in Jim Zorn's West Coast offense. However, in recent weeks, I think his performance has stagnated. He's telegraphing a lot of his passes, locking in on receivers. He's just not completing a lot of balls right now.
Yeah, I understand exactly. So you're saying not that good.
I think he has a lot of room for improvement, and he must improve down the stretch.
All right, let's look at the hot games of the week. Anyone can chime in when you get ready. Atlanta and New Orleans, I think I got New Orleans in this.
You will be wrong. Atlanta is going to win that division, Tony, and they will win that game.
Surprising team. New York Jets and San Francisco.
I got to go with the Jets in that one.
Why? Because of Favre?
I think they've been the hot team this year. Favre's playing very well.
Yeah, but Frisco's been close ever since they changed close.
And I do like Mike Singletary, by the way.
Mike Singletary's done a great job out there. I mean, what have they won, 2 of their last 3?
Yeah, Miami at Buffalo a few weeks ago, we'd have thought Buffalo, Miami probably win this game.
Oh, Miami's amazing. Amazing. It's a Parcells team.
I like the job that Tony Sperano's doing there.
You know what else is amazing? When someone can go through their picks and go on 5. Let's look at our picks from last week. Atlanta and New Orleans, Jacksonville and Chicago, Philadelphia and the Giants, Dallas and Pittsburgh, Jets and San Francisco. I'll give you a tip. Look whose score haven't changed since last week. Now, Donna, you did come up some. Falcons, Bears, Giants, Steelers, Jets. Mike, you got the Falcons, Bears, Giants, Steelers, Jets. I got the Saints, the Bears, the Giants, Steelers, Jets. So I'll pick up one there. And Mike, could it be you? The Saints, Bears, Giants, Cowboys, and 49ers.
I am a whipping boy here.
I'm not going to say anything. I will go right to my tip. And my tip for these young players is 6 and 10 may not get it done, so win each and every game that you can. And one person, very quick, what does this team need to do to win and beat Baltimore?
They must rush the passer. In Sunday's game against the Giants, Eli Manning, he was having breakfast, lunch, and dinner back there.
And a midnight snack.
Oh, I tell you, it wasn't that bad, but they will have to do that if they're going to win. And they need to win each and every game because this division is very tight now. We're hoping they're doing that. You come back next week and let us know if they did it, if we don't know. If we go with Mike's pick, we'll never know. Good night.
So you had a hard day, tried everything. Seemed like you can't make it on your own, but everywhere you turn, it's another challenge. So you think, oh, I'm not that strong, but Redskins, get up. You don't hear me? And get over it all. You're a winner. So you can't quit. What we want you to know is get up, boys, get over it Oh, so you're a winner. Oh, so you can't quit. Oh, we'll see you next week on Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus. I tried so hard to make it through, but it looks like a date and it's raining in your face. I believe you can make it. Yeah, 10-6 might not do it, but